at maketheconnection.net.
Coming up, we go to Hyden for the Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival, the first since the death of Bobby Osborne. Plus, former President Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail just one day after pleading not guilty in court.
And we continue to track some showers and storms heading our way for part of the weekend as highs make a run at 90 degrees. I'm breaking it all down next as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
The Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival continues in Leslie County. This is the first one since Bobby Osborne's death. WIMT's Chandler Wilcox is there with more on how the event is special to those participating.
The action started early here in Hyden. Bands have been rotating on and off the stage all day. The audience was already rocking by the first note. Bluegrass musician Larry Efall says getting to perform in a place where bluegrass has roots is truly special.
I love coming here at their old home place. Sometimes this is the only time I get to see certain people is once a year, and we just enjoy coming down here.
Not only is it special to bands, but also to local fire stations. I'll have more on that at 6, but for now, back to you.
All right, sounds like some good music behind you there, Chandler. Larry Efall and the Bluegrass Mountaineers Band have been playing at the Osborne Brothers Festival for more than a decade. The 38th annual town celebration is underway this weekend in Van Leer. The event, which brings music, food, and more to the Johnson County town, is all about preserving history and sharing stories. It kicked off last night with the annual Rook Tournament, and the opening ceremonies are set to take place in about half an hour at the Coal Miners Museum.
We've been here a long time. That actually, I think it's about 1910 is when the town was started, and most of us have lived here all our life, you know, in this community. So we just like to get together and fellowship.
Of course, Van Leer very close to Butcher Holler, and this is the first festival since Loretta Lynn's death. Live music is set to begin at the stage at 6 p.m. tonight with Adeline Ramey kicking things off.
Well, plenty of sunshine on this TGIF all throughout the region. Blue sky abound in most places this afternoon. It's warmed us up nicely. There's the view from our Pikeville Medical Center camera. 80 degrees in Pikeville right now, which is not too bad compared to some other spots. We're at 86 here in Hazard, 87 Manchester, and in Irvin, 88, taking the cake right now in Monticello, at least in our area. You got to go just outside of it. Ashland's at 89. Still some upper 70s, even mid 70s in parts of Southwest Virginia at this hour. Dew points are in the middle and upper 60s, so you do feel it out there. Not quite air you can wear, but it's air you can maybe put on as a jacket because it's a little toasty out there and humid. The good news, though, first alert pinpoint Doppler is a clean sweep. So as we head out there for the next 12 hours, not a bad evening. We'll be dodging a couple of clouds here and there, but no showers to speak of, big time anyway. Upper 70s as we head past dark and down into the 70s, low 70s tonight, eventually in the mid 60s. The details, though, Steve, on when we return to the possibility for some showers and thunderstorms, and they could be strong. That's in a few minutes.
All right, Evan, thanks. Governor Andy Beshear dedicated new homes for tornado survivors in western Kentucky today. The governor was in Mayfield, joining local officials and community leaders to dedicate 5 new homes for survivors of the December 2021 tornadoes. The homes were built by the Hope Initiative and cost $5.4 million. The Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund provided $500,000 to help build the homes.
Today, we are about 5 months away from the 2-year anniversary of the most destructive tornado event in our lifetime, if not in our history. And as we are here dedicating 5 new homes this morning, the city of Mayfield has moved from building homes to building neighborhoods. Yeah.
Launched just days after the tornadoes in December 2021, the Team Western Kentucky Tornado Relief Fund has raised more than $52 million with donations from more than 150,000 people and businesses. Of course, a lot of politicians making their way to Western Kentucky right now ahead of a fancy farm this weekend. We'll have more about that later. Well, former President Donald Trump is doing double duty, preparing to defend himself in the courts while trying to win the Republican presidential primary at the same time. CBS's Willie James Inman has more from Washington, D.C.
Former President Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail just one day after pleading not guilty during the arraignment on charges he tried to overturn the 2020 election.
When you look at what's happening, this is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.
Trump says the charges against him are meant to distract him from campaigning. He posted on social media Friday, resources that would have gone into ads and rallies will now have to be spent fighting these radical left thugs in numerous courts throughout the country. The cases have done little to slow down Trump's momentum with Republican voters. He continues to gain ground against his GOP primary rivals.
Well, I think it's politically motivated, absolutely.
Campaigning in Iowa, Governor Ron DeSantis, Trump's closest opponent, attacked the government and not the former president.
The question is, what are we going to do about it? We need to end the weaponization. We're going to hold DOJ, FBI, IRS, all these agencies accountable.
76% of likely Republican voters in a recent CBS News poll say the indictments are politically motivated. Trump posted this week, "I need one more indictment to ensure my election." Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Another indictment could be coming from Atlanta, where the Fulton County District Attorney appears to be on the verge of securing an indictment for Trump's attempts to overturn the election in the state of Georgia. The two Black Tennessee State House Democrats who were expelled earlier this year have been re-elected. State Representatives Justin Jones and Justin Pearson beat their Republican opponents, Laura Nelson and Jeff Johnston, respectively. In April, Jones and Pearson were kicked out of the House after they held a gun control protest on the State House floor. The GOP supermajority cited breaches of decorum, causing the expulsion. Days after that, Jones and Pearson were reinstated, but they needed to win these elections to hold on to their seats for the rest of their terms. A bipartisan group of lawmakers toured the steel blood-stained halls of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida this morning ahead of a reenactment of the massacre. The congressional delegation got a first-hand look at the site of the 2018 shooting that killed 14 students and 3 staff members. A parent of one of the victims organized the tour in hopes that it will spur lawmakers to act.
We can come together and we can enact common sense school safety solutions so that this will never happen again.
Ballistics experts were set to fire more than 100 gunshots as they reenacted the mass shooting. It's part of a civil lawsuit filed by the victims' families against former Sheriff's Deputy Scott Peterson and the Broward County Sheriff's Office. The lawsuit accuses Peterson, who did not go into the building to confront the shooter, of failing in his duty to protect the victims. Peterson was found not guilty of criminal charges. After today's reenactment, the school district will begin demolishing the building. Coming up on First at 4, a new movie hits theaters in October featuring the story of a Kentucky city rallying together during a crippling winter storm.
Yet more cloud cover and shower activity heading our way to displace the sunshine, though no snow on the way. Though I do have the details on when storms could arrive in just a bit.
WYMT News app offers alerts on breaking stories as they happen, customized to the categories you choose. The